Good morning, Willow Springs. I'm Marley Williamson.
And I'm Braden Buche.
This is Coach Davis's fourth period class, and WSMS News starts now!
Due to the ice storm, Bump Up Day has been rescheduled.
The basketball season is over, and track and soccer began.
A dangerous drug hits North Texas. Middle schoolers are overdosing on fentanyl.
An ice storm canceled schools all over the Metroplex. Will we be making up days, or will we add more minutes to the day?
All this and more coming up on WSMS News.
Welcome back. This is Willow Springs News. We've had a ton of rain and the weather continues to bring uncertainty.
Braxton, are we getting more rain and cold?
Last week we got some heavy rain showers with the weather in the 40s and 50s. This week it looks like the weather will be overcast and it might rain a few days as well. Also, the temperature is looking like it's going to warm up into the 60s with some high wind speeds. That's all for local weather, and not a Keaton with your national weather.
Thanks, Braxton. This is Keaton here with the national weather. Mild snow, thunderstorms, and rain are impacting the eastern United States. Additionally, heavy snow is affecting the central states, Wyoming, Colorado, and Idaho. This snow cluster will continue to move eastward and combine with the pre-existing storm conditions along the east coast. Lastly, cold fronts are impacting the western coast and states along the center of the U.S. and Canada. That's all for national weather.
Thanks, Keaton and Jackson. And now for our top story. Last week, we heard the sad news of North Texas school students losing their life over a dangerous synthetic opioid.
Many of those students as young as 13. We talked to Marshall Murphy about why this is happening.
So on the news, we saw that middle school kids died from fentanyl-laced pills. Can you go over that?
We've got an incident in Carrollton, Texas, where drug dealers told the kids that bought them, obviously there was something else other than fentanyl. Teenage drug dealers take these pills, sell them to kids in their school. Kids take the pills. Because of that, 3 of them died, and then there was another 7 that became very sick from, taking these fentanyl pills.
Fentanyl is killing Americans at record rates. In fact, many don't know that they are taking the deadliest drug our country's ever seen.
They didn't know how drug traffickers mix fentanyl in cocaine, in heroin, and in methamphetamine. They didn't know that the prescription pill they bought from a dealer on social media was fake and actually contained fentanyl.
In fact, drug cartels are going after our youth. They are creating synthetic opioids. The dealers are telling teenagers they are getting Xanax, Darvocet, or Percocet pills to get you high.
Majority of these middle school kids don't necessarily know that they're taking fentanyl. These kids are basically telling these other kids, hey, I've got this whatever kind of prescription drug, whatever it may be, Klonopins or Xanaxes or whatever. And so the middle school kids or high school kids are like, okay, cool, that's a prescription drug, not a big deal. But it's really not. It's a fentanyl pill that could be, mixed with something else. So they're taking something thinking it's something else, but ultimately it is fentanyl, and that's why it's killing them.
WSMS School Marshal Murphy says it's difficult to stop the flow of fentanyl because its synthetic meaning is man-made with chemicals.
They say fentanyl is synthetic. What does that mean?
So fentanyl is man-made in the lab by humans. So that's what it means by it's synthetic as opposed to being natural.
Where do the chemicals come from?
The drugs are being pushed up from Mexico. Ultimately, the fentanyl is coming from China. It goes into Mexico, and then from there it's pushed onto the streets of the United States.
Less than a millimeter of fentanyl can kill you. That's the size of the tip of this pencil.
What kids need to understand is these drug dealers, right, in the United States, not the high school kids that are buying drugs, but the actual people that are buying it from Mexico and pushing it on our streets, they don't care about us. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Their ultimate goal is money. So they're going to sell as much stuff as they can and get it out there on the street because ultimately they want the money. They don't care if you get sick. They don't care if you die. They got their money, right? It's around here. There was some girls arrested at one of the Allen football games this year that had some of it. Okay, and so luckily the police found out about it and arrested them in the parking lot at the Allen football stadium. What would have been the outcome if that would have gotten to the hands of some people and they took it? We don't know, but it could have been very bad, you know what I mean? So just make sure, if you hear of anybody, see of anything, you just let somebody know you're not being a snitch. You could potentially be saving somebody's life and ultimately somebody that you may care about as well.
For WSMS News, I'm Cora Craver.
I'm Natalia Vizcaíno.
Chase Hunke,
and Madison Mejia.
Basketball season ends and track season and soccer season are upon us. The Super Bowl is over. Let's see whose predictions were correct. Let's now go to the sports crew to get us up to date.
On January 27th and 28th, our wrestling team competed in the middle school state tournament. 3 of our wrestlers placed in the top 6. Will Brownlow got 3rd place, Graham Haynes got 5th, and Connor Stubblefield got 6th place. This was the final tournament for the wrestling team. Congrats on a great season. Track season is right around the corner. Tryouts begin the 13th and go through the 17th. They start at 7:15 and go till 8:30.
The girls' soccer tryouts begin on the 27th and go through the 2nd. On February 2nd, the 8th and 7th grade boys and girls B-team tournament got canceled for the 2nd time in a row. The game against Curtis Middle School got canceled. The 7th grade boys and girls played Burnett Middle School on February the 6th. On February 9th, the Willow Spring boys and girls 8th graders played Wiley Burnett also.
Oh, I got that.
I think I had like. No, we can't all go. She's married to Ryan.
Oh.
Those are points. Woo! All right.
This weekend, 18 boys and girls for 7th and 8th grade had their district tournament. It has been a great season for all teams this year.
On Sunday, February 12th, the Kansas City Chiefs faced off against the Philadelphia Eagles for Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. The Eagles got on the board first, and while the Chiefs responded, they managed to hold a 24-14 lead at half. Rihanna performed the Apple Music halftime show, and she performed many of our most famous songs. The Chiefs came out hot to start the second half, and they did not slow down from there. The game came down to the wire, and a controversial holding call set up an easy field goal for the Chiefs to win it. The Eagles had one last chance for a Hail Mary to win the game, but Jalen Hurts threw the ball 30 yards short, which is a bit surprising considering that he's an NFL quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs' MVP quarterback, more or less carried his team to victory, even while playing through a high ankle sprain. This was also the first Super Bowl that 2 brothers played against each other, with Travis Kelce, the Chiefs' star tight end, playing against his brother Jason Kelce, the Eagles' star center. The final score of the game was 38-35. For WSMS Sports, I'm Braden Buchek, reporting.
So I was right after all. The Chiefs are the new Super Bowl champs.
Okay, then who's their quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, good job. You won that one.
Yay.
Good job. President Biden gives his State of the Union last week and talks about the Chinese spy balloon. Many North Texans are coming together to help out victims in Turkey.
February is Black History Month. Republican President Gerald Ford officially recognized the celebration in 1976. It calls to the American public to recognize the accomplishments and legacies of Black Americans from civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Harriet Tubman and other leaders in science, politics, and culture. Its roots stem from mostly women and clergy born out of the 1920s.
10 tons of relief supplies from North Texas are headed to Turkey to help those who have lost everything following last Monday's deadly 7.8 magnitude earthquake. Turkish American Airlines is shipping supplies free to help aid in the recovery as the casualties rise to nearly 25,000.
Earlier in the newscast, we told you about the dangers of fentanyl-laced pills that are being peddled to teenagers from drug cartels. And if that's not scary enough, there's another danger to warn children about: marijuana edibles. Marketed to children in the form of candy, while legal in some states, they are not legal in Texas, and they are not meant for kids anywhere, even though the packaging seems harmless candy. Michaela Martin reports.
Lately, THC edibles have made a big approach. Edibles are a drug that contains marijuana, an illegal substance in Texas and about 25 other states in the U.S. The edibles are placed inside of well-known candy and chip brand packaging that resembles real food. People have been put into hospitals for the poison contained inside these edibles.
These drugs look very realistic, but if you look closely, you can tell that these aren't the real brands. Here's Marshall Murphy with more information.
Would not recommend taking the item if you don't know what it is. Keep in mind a lot of those products that you're speaking of, on the bag you will see a green 4-leaf leaf, which means that the product you're about to eat or that you're holding contains THC or cannabis. So if you come across something like that, obviously you don't want to put that into your body, so take it to your parents, call the police department, something of that nature.
On Halloween, some people were passing out THC edibles as candy to the kids trick-or-treating. Doctors said that parents need to be aware of the candy that their kids are getting a hold of so they don't end up hospitalized.
Luckily, the students at Willow Springs know what to do when they come across these drugs.
And don't forget, if you come across anything with a pot leaf on it, report it to a parent, guardian, or an adult you trust. We're Michaela Martin,
Lila Schooner,
Rachel Morrell,
and Tegan Harris
with WSMS News reporting.
Again, these edibles are not for teens, even if states where they are legal.
When we come back, we talk about when Bump Up Day is and how the snow days will be rescheduled.
But first, a commercial break.
Track season and tryouts have officially started here at WSMS. The first practice was this morning, and many athletes are looking forward to the upcoming season. Practice is before school, and you need to get here at 6:45 and be ready for practice at 7:15. If you still want to join track, you can. You just need to contact Coach Davis or Coach Evans. For WSMS News, I'm Jocelyn Schuler with Maddie Park and Jackson Monda.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to Entertainment. I'm Chase Humke.
And I'm Cora Craver.
Tonight at the high school, our WSMS orchestra students are performing a pre-YL concert before they compete at Allen High School on February 28th. This will be their final run-through before going to competition. Hope to see you there.
If you look outside, our WSMS garden looks like it's struggling, lots of it due to our winter weather. With your help, it will be back in shape in no time. Here's Brenton and Tristan reporting.
Our garden has been struggling with all the cold weather these past months. Let's get our garden back into shape for summer in order to bring back another healthy ecosystem. If you want to see our garden colorful again, feel free to drop by Ms. Perez's classroom to help out.
So in the wintertime, you have to make sure that you're cutting back the dead growth. So one of the things we're going to do is cut back the plants that died. We also have to put mulch down, and if we have compost, we can put that down to nourish the soil.
The garden at WSMS has always been an attraction to students and staff. If you want to get the garden back in shape again, go to Ms. Perez's class at Leopardtime Friday to help out.
So we have tried to prepare our garden beds to welcome butterflies and insects and native bees. So we have planted certain flowers that the monarchs like. The monarchs, there's a fly zone all the way across Texas, and they migrate up to Canada in the summer, and then they come down in about October to go back to Mexico. Well, we will put some dates on the calendar for NJHS, but right now, every Friday during the club activities in Leopardtime, if you want to come and help with the garden, I can use your help.
For WSMS News, this is Brendan Peters
and Tristan Foreman. Bump Up Day is now moved to Monday, February 20th, after being canceled due to the ice storm. Mrs. Smith's students have been working on an elective montage to showcase just how unique each elective is. Here's an example.
The first seeded spot heading into playoffs.
In media, you learn about how to work in a newsroom on and off camera. In Media 1, you focus on learning the basics, like learning how to work the cameras, work the media equipment, edit, and make news packages.
I enjoy media because I like to make announcements and make packages for the announcements, and it's also a very fun class.
If you don't want to be on camera, there are many more jobs that are just as important. You can be a cameraman or you can be an editor. Once you learn the basics in Media 1, in 8th grade, you can start working on the announcements in Media 2.
I enjoy media because it's a very good elective to have if you're into filming and stuff and movies and kind of things like that, because you get to know all the shot ideas and being able to make something of your own and putting it for the public to see on the announcement.
Media requires time management and hard work, but when you are in Miss Smith's class, you get a real-life experience of a real newsroom, and you'll discover it's a ton of fun.
Media is one of the best electives out there, and I could not say it enough that you should join because it's fun.
If you're responsible and willing to work hard and learn new things, media is the class for you. This is Cora Craver,
Chase Humke,
and Madison Mejia
with WSMS News.
This year's Grammys was held on Sunday, February 5th in Los Angeles. Here's Kennedy and Paige with the story.
Grammys took place on Sunday, February 5th, and it was a success. After winning Best Dance/Electronic Album for Renaissance, Beyoncé beat the record for most wins by any artist in Grammy history, putting her total number of Grammys to 32. Lizzo won Best Record of the Year, competing with Adele, Bad Bunny, Doja Cat, Steve Lacy, and Harry Styles.
Harry also performed his hit single As It Was. Right when they went to perform, his spinning stage started having technical difficulties and spun the other way. Harry was able to adapt to this change and make it look seamless.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold up the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that?
Harry Styles took home the biggest award of the night. Harry's House won Album of the Year, putting Harry Styles at a total of 3 Grammys.
And the Grammy goes to... You can read it.
Harry Styles!
On February 8th, our 8th graders went to the high school for an incoming freshman tour. 2 weeks ago, we had 4 days off of school. We have Mrs. Eldridge to talk about it.
We will need to make up 2 of those snow days. One we will make up on Monday, February 20th, and the other one will be on Monday, April the 10th.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so today we're interviewing people about who their Valentines are.
Do you have a Valentine this year?
No.
Why not?
Because I have a lot of schoolwork to focus on and get 80s or above.
Would you want a Valentine?
I don't know.
Who would you want to be your Valentine if you had one?
You, Marley.
I'm Marley Williamson. I'm here with Kaylin. Do you have a Valentine this year?
No.
Why not?
Because I dropped him.
I'm Marley Williamson. I'm here with Brody. Do you have a Valentine this year?
No,
Why not?
because she dropped me.
Why?
I don't know. I'm Lynn McIntosh here with Cooper Weir. Do you have a Valentine?
No,
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't want to waste my money on them.
Them?
Or like her.
Alright.
What's your favorite childhood Valentine's Day memory? Whenever we had like the little boxes and like we used to like go around the tables and like put the candy in.
I'm here with Katie Mitchell. Katie, do you have a Valentine?
Yes.
Who is it?
Carson Fox, Claire Beveridge, Shaylee, Natalia, and Bijou.
I'm here with Carson Fox. Carson, do you have a Valentine?
Yes.
Who is it?
Katie, Claire, Natalia, Shaylee, and Bijou.
Have a good day, and remember,
Leopards roar as one. Roar!